The Max Rebo Band was a 12-member band that played at Jabba the Hutt's palace on the planet Tatooine, around 4 years after the Battle of Yavin. The band played the song GD Rocks for the Hutt and his court, which Jabba demanded to be played again. The band also produced Lapti Nek and That Joyous Night, I Ate My Mate. During the second performance, however, Jabba interrupted the band by dropping his slave dancer Ula into the rancor pit below his throne room, where she was devoured. When Organa later freed Han Solo from carbonite, several members of the band were present with Jabba in hiding. At least one member of the band, Max Rebo, then traveled on board Jabba's sail barge to the Great Pit of Carkoon. Member of the band are the following. Max Rebo along with his brother Azul Fantel. Was born on the cold planet Ordo. At some point, Rebo formed a band called Max Rebo Band. He mainly played the Red Bull jet organ, which he played with his feet. He and his band often performed for criminals and otherwise sleazy clientele like Jabba the Hutt's palace. Cy Snoodles, also known as Miss Snooty, was a female Palawik singer and part-time bounty hunter. The former lover of Zero the Hutt, she killed him on the behalf of his nephew, Jabba, after he had abandoned her. Snoodles was also a spy for the Hutt clan and later became the lead vocalist for the Max Rebo Band. When it split up after Jabba's death, she resumed her solo singing career. Akrev was a male Weequay who played as a drummer in the Max Rebo Band, whose second drummer was Umpus Stay. He was a bodyguard to Jabba the Hutt. Doda Bodaniwida was a male Rhodian musician. He played at Chowman Spaceport Cantina, but ended up getting fired and replaced with the band Figrin Dan and the modal nodes You Know the Band. A few years later he was seen as a member of the Max Rebo Band at Jabba's palace. Barquin Dan was a Bith who played the clue horn as a member. Griada Gendoanian was a female Rhodian who worked as a singer and dancer for the Max Rebo Band. During the Clone Wars, she attended a performance of a Mon Calamari opera on the planet Coruscant. Griada, Greedo I get it. Droopy McCool Yes McCool was the commonly known stage name of Snit, who was a male Kidnak and the lead horn player of the Max Rebo Band. McCool's real name, however, was a series of flute-like whistles, unpronounceable by any other species. He played the Chinding Kalu flute. His body released a vanilla-like smell. While he was a well-integrated member of the Max Rebo Band, he was lonely and wished for the company of other Kidnaks. He claimed to have heard to the faint tones of his fellow kind out in the Tatooine dunes. After the death of Jabba the Hutt and the explosion of his sail barge, McCool disappeared into the desert. My favorite Lin Mi was a Twi'lek female dancer who performed with the Max Rebo Band at Jabba the Hutt's palace. Mi grew up on the barren northern continent of the planet Ryalth. She was saved from slavery by Boba Fett and thus hero worshipped him. She was well learned in the art of Twi'lek dance. Rapurchini Rapatwenelantani was a male green-skinned Shada Ub who stood at 3/10 of a meter in height. Like other Shada Ub, Rapurchini could spit a paralyzing poison and he would do so at anyone who threatened him. Rapurchini played a peculiar instrument known as a growdy harmonique which required the use of his fingers, toes, and mouth. Sant was a half-human, half-Thelan female with crimson hair, yellow eyes, and white skin with pink markings. She had several horns emerging from her head. A hybrid between a human and Thelan, Ristal Sant was once a slave before she was freed by Lando Calrissian. Sant later became a singer and dancer who performed with the Max Rebo Band, where she became a veteran performer. Sant was an accomplished singer and dancer who performed in numerous venues across the galaxy. Her performance attracted the attention and affection of famed bounty hunter Boba Fett. Joe Yoza was a male Yuzum performer for the Max Rebo Band. He often performed duets with Cy Snoodles. Among Jabba's courtiers, many people disliked Yoza's voice and dreamed of silencing him brutally. The Hutt, however, appeared to like the Yuzum singer. At some point, Yoza left the band and was to do a solo concert at Oga's Cantina on Batuu a few rotations after the skirmish at Kat Sokka's farm. Umpus Stay was a male Claduinian who worked as a drummer and bodyguard.